was underneath a motorhome looking at a chassis, giving it a good poke, a few pokes with the screwdriver, and I made a large hole just underneath the LPG cabinet here. Let's take a look. All right, so just here, this has actually been getting worse through the years, very slowly, but I noticed that it seemed to have got bigger. Kind of when rust goes, it expands, it kind of blows, and you can see here it's gone quite large. So the only way of getting rid of that, of correcting it, is to replace that, cut it out and replace it with proper steel. No chemicals or whatever is going to sort that out, because this is all, it's gone, right? I could make it worse with my screwdriver, make it a bigger hole, but there's no point. I might as well just cut it out. What it's supposed to look like is the other side. And I do have some worries. The LPG bottles above here, they're not a problem because, well, if I have a fire, there might be a problem, but I don't think they're a problem because they're about, I don't know, 8 inches, what's that, 20 centimeters, 30 centimeters away from where I'm going to be welding. My problem is this: there's a whole bunch of cables and high pressure hoses, I don't know, the airbag hoses coming through this grommet here, which is quite close to where I want to be cutting and welding. So I don't think I can remove these. I'm going to have to shield them or do something. So the good news is that I have access inside. Just here, look, to these where my 2 fingers are. There's a hole here as well, where a grommet should go. But this one, I can actually put my hand in. And I can reach around and I can feel cables and the pipes and whatever. And I haven't actually put the camera in there, so let's take a look at that, what that looks like. There you are, I can just barely see the screen. Just see if I can poke my finger through the hole in the where I need to weld. Can you see that? Oh, here's my finger. My little finger just poking through. So my plan is to mark it up, what I want to cut away, cut it, which is a problem because I don't really want to go in with the angle grinder because it's a bit too much, I think, for the amount of space I've got, and I don't want to cut into places I don't want to cut, such as those wires. I might be able to use my Dremel once I've got the rust out of there, and before I do any welding, I'm going to have to somehow clear off the underseal, the factory what the factory's put on 25 years ago, so that I have a really good contact for the welder. My welding isn't the best of welding at times, so any benefit there I'm going to get from cleaning up properly is going to be good. Otherwise, we're going to have lots of pigeon poo on the underneath. But I think my biggest worry is damaging any of those cables or hoses. I don't know how I'm going to protect them. So I've got to protect them from heat, I've got to protect them from sparks. Anyway, let's stop waffling and get on with it. I've been doing some research, looking up online and watching videos and stuff, and apparently this should do the trick of stripping the undersealant and the paint off the metal, leaving the metal, I hope. Unlike an actual angle grinder, which will just destroy the metal. So this is a Norton rapid strip, and you can just basically put it on your angle grinder and it will take it all off. I've also purchased some Dremel cutting discs, so this will allow me to nice and gently cut away the rot there, and hopefully not make so many sparks as to catch fire to those or melt those cables and hoses. That is going to be a problem when I go to weld though. Still thinking about how to do that actually. Anyway, let's get in there, see if this works. Well, that seems to be working, doesn't it?
Once I stripped the paint off, I could see where the rust stopped and the metal started.
I'm just going to mark it up. I'm going to cut along here, and then just cover it like that rather than going around the corner there. I don't think I need to. Well, there is a bit of rust up there here, but I can't get the angle grinder in. But that is almost done, isn't it? Okay, right, let's see what we can do with the Dremel then. Now I have checked along here as much as I can to see if there's anything behind it, but it doesn't look like there is. There's not much left of my blade. Look at the difference. Yeah, I think that one's had it. The Dremel itself is very hot. I can just barely hold it. Oh, I think my Dremel's on the way out. Well, don't be like that now. I guess it's not used to doing, it's not good for doing major work like this. Yeah, that's not, damn it. Alright, I'm gonna have to get the angle grinder out. There we go, right. The Dremel is very hot. I can feel it through the gloves. There you go. There you are. Whew. So there is my hole. That's what it looks like on the inside. What's it looking like that side and back there? Well, now I need to make a plate, do a bit more cleanup, and see if I can stop fires or heat get into this cable. Or bunch of cables. So I've come up with a template made of card, of course, and I've got a little kink in the bottom here, so that goes along the edge there, and that fits nicely. Now I've transferred that to this, and I've used that stripping wheel to clean up the edges, so I'm gonna get a really good, hopefully a really good bead of weld there. Okay, so that's going to be brilliant. And I've also ordered a heat-proof mat, which I'm going to be able to put in here and cover up these cables. So I think it's going to be less chance of splashes from the inside, molten metal from the inside hitting these cables.
The welding blanket arrived the following day, and I shoved it through the hole and wrapped the cables in it. That should do it. Using a few magnets to hold the plate in place, the first thing I had to do was spot weld the plate to the body. For some reason the welder was spluttering a bit, which made things a bit difficult.
Spluttering. The bottom of my arm.
With the spot welds in place, I could remove the magnets and run welding beads all the way round. I welded in small sections so that the metal didn't get too hot. I was still thinking of those wires. Ignoring the few welding droplets that ran down my sleeves and all the smoke, nothing caught fire. Covering the wires with the welding blanket, I set about grinding back my welds, followed by the stripping wheel to clean the area ready for painting. Let me show you the mess I've made. Right, I'm not proud of my welding, but let me know what you think. It's a bit bird pooey like. It's not going to win any competitions, but that's it. And it is quite solid. And that's all that really matters. I don't think it needed to be seam welded, to be quite honest, because this isn't structural. This is just a whole, you know, part of the bodywork to rust. I think there's nothing in there. It's not even the floor of the gas locker. It's a shame because I couldn't really get the angle grinder in to trim off or grind back my welds. I was planning on grinding some of them back and re-welding, but I don't think it's going to be too possible because the rest of the bodywork's in the way. So one thing I need to check are these cables that I've been worrying about. So it doesn't look like they're damaged, but we'll check that again in a moment. We have got a victim though. You can see this here. This is a ground for the airbag compressor, and all I had to do was replace the thing, which is, so that's done. That's be sorted once I've done everything else. But let's take a look inside. Let's get my hand in, if I can. So they're the cables and the hoses. There should be 2 hoses in there, I think, as well. They feel fine. I don't think there is anything wrong with them. But yeah, how does that look in there anyway? What about looking from this angle? Any good? Does it? That's what it looks like. Well, I should be able to get this camera in even further, so let's take a look. There you go. There is what it looks like inside. At the moment, I can't see a thing. From the other side, it looks like that. Now my welding did start to improve when I turned the speed of the wire up. It's been a while since I've done some proper welding. I welded up a Volkswagen Beetle many years ago. My leather gardening gloves are my welding gloves, and the welder I'm using now is the same welder. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done any proper welding, and it got a lot better than this. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, because now I'm just going to treat this and do something else. So if this is kind of your thing, then give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, because we're now going to go and do some touring in Herman. So you'll be maybe interested to watch that kind of stuff. If you're interested in the travel vlogs, then why not hit that subscribe button? Because I don't always do maintenance on my motorhome. It's just that we've just come across some stuff I needed to do. Anyway, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.